Howdy folks, it's your friend Fishing with Dom, and it's almost catfish season. So today, I'm going to be talking to you about a few different catfish hooks I want to be using this year. I hope you like it. Let's check it out. So I'm sitting down here in the studio, playing around with some of my favorite catfish gear, getting everything ready. For those who don't know, I have definitely gone catfish crazy, crazier to say, since I started going to college and getting the summers off. I wanted to fish for catfish a lot more after doing a tremendous amount of research on the watersheds that aren't too far from my home. So just looking at some of this gear right now before I get into the nature of this video, I just want to maybe show off two of my favorite setups for channel catfish. This is the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando. It's spooled with Berkley Trilene Big Cat. Solid monofilament. I really like it. Got my sinker slide. It's a beautiful combo. I did a review on this setup last year. I'll put a link to it in the description below for those wondering about it. Channel catfish, I absolutely love it. I haven't caught anything else with it. I'd take a moderate-sized flathead with it, but this reel doesn't have a bait runner. And then I'm also sitting down here in the studio gawking over my big boy, my big baby. This is a 7'6", heavy power Berkley E-Cat. She's already rigged for action. I'm going to be fishing the Maumee River with it. I've got my big ol' Team Catfish Mighty Wide Gap Kale hook. I'm really excited. This is actually a hook on the list today. But this E-Cat is spooled up with 65-pound test trilene braid on the Berkley C3 Catfish Special, the 7000 series. Got a really loud clicker, a really large reeling profile behind it. I'm going to be able to catch a very large flathead catfish, and maybe even a blue catfish. I was talking to my dad yesterday. We might be going to Tennessee sometime in middle July, so the potential, it's there. But hopefully I'll catch something really, really big with this one. For all my catfish friends watching, hold me to it. If you don't hear of me out there on the river, tell me to go out there because I've got the gear for it. So set this down, we get back to the nature of the video. I'm going to talk to you today about some hooks that I'm going to be using this year that I haven't used so much in the past. Now first things first, I'm going to clarify things a little bit. There's a J-style hook, plain old hook, that I'm going to be trying. There's going to be a Kale-style hook and a Circles hook. So let's start with the Circle hook. I've used these before in the past, but this is a hook that I'm going to personally try even harder to fish with when it comes to the really large game. And that is the Berkley Fusion Circle hook. What's different between this Berkley Fusion and a lot of other circle hooks is how round and consistent the bend is to this hook. When compared to a lot of other circle hooks, you rarely see the points run this high up the shank too. And for a freshwater hook, a lot of the time, they don't bend almost 90 degrees inwards towards the shank like this. What I've realized with this hook, when fish touch it and I get a piece of them, there's no physical way they can throw it because it's such a deep hook. It's so bent. When this sinks down into the corner of their mouth, they're not gonna physically be able to get it out of their mouth. Just like circle hooks, they generally can't. But this is even deeper, even more of a chance that they can. Very, very strong hook. And what I dig about it, when it comes to connecting to my leader line, is how angled the eyelet is. So when it comes to snelling, thick monofilaments, I know there's a solid connection right there. This hook does the job. It's not an inline circle hook, so it has a higher percentage of hookup ratio, in my opinion, and experience. I've caught a lot of fish with the Fusion hooks before, but this is something I'm going to be playing a lot more with over the years, over the next season, for larger fish. It's worked for channel cats, but I want to see if a big old whammer jammer will succumb to the dangers that this hook offers. Now next up, I thought I just dropped a really sharp hook on the floor, but I didn't lose it. This is the J-style hook I'm going to talk to you about today. And this is the Team Catfish Jackhammer. When I was really young, I used to fish with J hooks for catfish. I used to exclusively fish with J hooks for catfish because believe it or not, there is this time in Michigan, even in the catfish community in Michigan, where circle hooks really weren't a big thing. So my friend Andy that you see on this channel quite a bit, shout out to Andy, good friend, good fisherman friend. Andy got me into circle hooks and I owe him my life for it. But when it comes to live bait fishing this year, especially in situations where the fish might be a little skittish, I might be tempted to throw on this Team Catfish jackhammer and just sock it to them. This is what people used to do all the time back in the day before circle hooks were developed. Got the 4-aught, got the 6-aught, got a nice offset tip from the shank, got a real big eyelet to it. Hey, they touch that bait, this hook's in their mouth, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give them the beans. And that's something I'm really excited about because I can only imagine what it would be like, you know, to have a rig as beefy as this one right here, reel down into a fish, and just sock it to them like I would a big old largemouth bass. But in this instance, it's going to be a big old flathead catfish, hopefully. So, only time's going to tell. Who knows? I might not fish with them that much this year, but I'm going to try, and that's why I'm making this video. Catfish Chronicles of Dominic Turcotte. In fact, before I show you the last hook, I'm going to really focus my efforts on this year. You got to check this out. This is actually really heavy. Look at all these sinkers. It's really heavy. If I drop it, the box will break and so will my foot. It is filled with 2-ounce, 3-ounce, 4-ounce no rolls and a big old collection of disc sinkers. This is the best I could show you because my camera's a little stationary right now. But there's a lot of weight in this box. And I gotta sit it down because I'm getting lightheaded. Okay, that was good. So I'm really excited for catfishing this year. And shout out to my friend Nick Walker. He makes my sinkers. If you want a good deal on sinkers, check him out on Facebook. His Facebook group is called Nick Walker Sinkers. Pretty obvious, but it is what it is. Sells sinkers at a great rate for all the catfish anglers out there. But for all the other catfish anglers out there dying to know what exactly the last hook I'm going to try to fish a little bit more this year, I've mentioned it already before on my ECAT. And that's the Kale style hook. This is the Team Catfish Mighty Wide Gap, and there's just something that drew me into these hooks. I know of a lot of big-time catfish anglers. They use Kale. They still use Kale hooks, even though the popularity of circle hooks is through the roof right now in the catfish community. But from what Glenn Flowers, one of the greatest flathead catfishermen in the country, he was talking once about how beneficial Kale hooks can be when it comes to really grabbing and digging into a piece of a flathead or a big old blue catfish. Because with the design of the hook, this hook point, when that fish has the entire bait in his mouth, that hook is going to reach far back into the corner of the fish's mouth and really get a deep, solid connection into that cheekbone and the muscle. You're not piercing them around the lips or around the lip cartilage like you would a circle hook or J hook a lot of the time. No, you're reaching back there into the stronger muscles around the jawbone and into the jawbone a little bit. So they take it, they're putting it back there. This is, hypothetically speaking, where you're going to be attempting to hook the fish. But I'm geeked. I think this is going to be the first hook I try out of my usual. Most of the time, I'm using a circle hook. And this year, I'm going to step away from that. Use J hooks, like the jackhammer. I'll also try octopus hooks. I'm going to try this Mighty Wide Gap Kale hook by Team Catfish. And for the larger cats, I'm going to see how well the Berkeley Fusion circle hook holds up. I think it'll hold up well. Only time will tell, though. But that's what I got going on right now as far as up-and-coming stuff for my catfish adventures. I have a lot on my agenda right now for possible filming in the future, for where I'm going to go, what I'm going to film, and what I'm going to set up. But if you have any insight or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. But until next time, I'm Fishing with Dom. I hope you have a great day. Take it easy, folks. Goodbye.
Boop.